We're going to do a little Bible study on the book of Job. So I'm going to give you Tracy's things that she finds interesting in Job. And you should read the book of Job and you should study Job. Job is a very interesting book to me. I'm going to lay just a little foundation so we know what's going on in the book of Job in case somebody comes across this video and they don't know who Job is. So Job is a man who sacrificed for his kids. Just in case they might have sinned. He's like, I don't even know if these kids have got out here and acted wild, but we're going to sacrifice and make sure they're covered, okay? Very righteous man. The enemy comes before the Lord and God says to him, have you considered my servant Job? And he's like, oh, you have a wall of protection around Job. If you let me touch him and take the stuff that he has from him, he'll curse you. God's like, okay, bet. You can touch everything that he has, but you cannot take his life, okay? So that's exactly what the enemy does. If the enemy has an opportunity to touch and take something from you and he can do it, he will do it. That's what I feel like the story of Job is telling you, is if the enemy is given the opportunity, this is what he will do, okay? So anyway, he goes and he does all these things and he has completely taken everything from Job. He's even gave Job these painful bulls, okay? Now, I'm going to start telling you the things that I find to be interesting in the story. So I think a lot of people have things to say about Job's wife, but you also have to keep in mind that this is a woman who has also lost everything. She's lost her children and she's sitting in bitterness. So I think the enemy goes, ooh, wheels are turning. What did I do? The very first thing I ever did to man. I used his wife. She didn't really have that same type of in-depth relationship with God. So I'm going to take her in her place of unknowing her, lesser relationship with God. And I believe that Job's wife had a lesser relationship. In my opinion, that's just what I believe. So he goes to his wife. He's got her stirred up and he's like, you tell Job to curse God, to curse him. You tell Job to do it. So she goes over to him and she's like, curse God and die, right? Speaking out of the bitterness in her heart. How many people in your life have you had roll up to you in the bitterness of their situation and speak negativity into your season? You're in a bad season and they're in a bad season and they speak negativity into your season. You respect and love that person because the enemies use their bitterness and their pain to speak into you. Okay? Job doesn't do it. He doesn't do it at all. But the devil, I'm sure, was like, why got Eve to make Adam be tempted and fall? Okay, that didn't work. What's the next thing he went to? 3 friends. 3 friends. And I'm going to read to you a little thing about Job's 3 friends because I find this to be interesting. I'm just going to read the place where they was from to the best of my ability. I'm country, do not come from me. So Eliphaz was a Temite, Bildad was a Shuhite, and Zophar was a Naamathite. Now, do you hear the word Israelite anywhere in that? No, you don't. So they had a concept of a God. You can see that when they're the responses that they give to Job. But we do not see them knowing God and his full character of who he is. So